Hello there, my name is Perspectiv, and I just wanted to talk about a few horror movies that I really liked. Western horror just isn't really that scary anymore, some of it is just really bland and boring, and some of it is actually not too bad. But from the ones that I've watched, a lot of them just aren't really good anymore. And so I wanted to talk about a few Eastern horror movies, specifically Korean horror movies, that I thought were actually pretty banger. So let's start off with Train to Busan. Train to Busan is a Korean horror movie, zombie movie, about a businessman and his daughter who get onto a train, and zombies basically infect that area of Korea, and so they have to escape by the train, and there's other passengers on the train, and spoilers, there's spoilers for all of these, so if you don't like spoilers, then skip over this. But people get infected on the train, and then they have to fight their way through the train and get to a safe area, basically. And let me tell you, these zombies are just straight up terrifying. Like, there's always, like, whenever you watch Eastern movies, like Japanese, Korean, or whatever, there's always that thought of, oh, they're overacting and all that stuff. Like that's a thing that a lot of people say. But whenever it comes to the zombies, okay, the zombies and the overacting of the zombies works so fucking well, because these zombies are absolutely terrifying. They go around and they do all that weird shit, and it's so cool, and they look absolutely gross. And I just really love those zombies. This is actually my favorite zombie movie now, and it made me think of World War Z, but better, honestly. Because these zombies just freaky, so cool, so badass. And let me tell you, my favorite character is Song Hwa, which I don't really remember any of their names, so I had to look this up. And he's played by Ma Dong Seok. I think that's how you say that. I don't know how to say that. I'm very bad at those pronunciations. But he is an absolute badass in the movie. And he takes care of his wife who's pregnant, and the whole time he's just like, he's talking shit to the main character. He's just being a badass. He like absolutely decks a zombie in the movie, and it is so fucking funny. And it just shows that he is such a strong, badass character. And he's actually, if I remember correctly, the actor that plays him is actually a fighter. I forgot if he's a boxer or an MMA fighter or what in Korea, but he's actually like a fighter or something like that. And it really shows in the movie, because whenever he throws his punches, you can tell those are heavy hitting punches. But all the acting, and even by the kids, even by the kid in it, the main character's daughter, all the acting is really good. It's top tier acting. There's not really much overacting, and aside from the zombies, and it's just really good. The story is really good. There's a villain other than the zombies, which, of course, it's a zombie movie, it's going to have that. And it's a really good character. Just like, you hate him by the end of it. He's just a piece of shit, and you hate him by the end of it, and that's the goal of those characters. So that is by far my most favorite zombie movie of all time, for sure. I've watched it twice now, but it's really, really good. I've heard a lot of stuff about it, and I was like, people are saying it's good, so it sounds good, so I want to try it. And of course, it has Korean subtitles or English subtitles, because they are Korean. So if you don't like that, then maybe skip over it. But honestly, if you can get through just that, which, it is an issue for me because I watch anime, but if you can get through that as a normal viewer, then you will have no issue with the movie at all, and you will absolutely love it. I'm telling you. And now the next movie, my favorite Korean horror movie, is Ganjam Haunted Asylum. Ganjam Haunted Asylum is about a real haunted asylum that was in South Korea, and it's haunted as fuck. It is really haunted. And it actually got demolished after the movie. After the movie was done with it, it actually got demolished. So you can't see it anymore. But the movie has the asylum in it, and the asylum lives on through that. And it is a creepy asylum, like any broken down, gross looking, overgrown asylum is gonna look like that, you know. And the characters, you really fall in love with the characters. You know, it's about. Let me tell you what it's about. It's about a an internet ghost hunting group. They get together a team, and they go to Ganjam Haunted Asylum, and they basically film all the shit there. And it's revealed there are two twists in it. The first twist is that it's revealed that the stuff that's happening to them is fake, because the captain of the group and the two other members are actually faking everything to everyone else, and all the reactions to the other people are all real. So, you know, it looks really real. And then the double twist is that stuff starts happening and it's actually real. It's real paranormal stuff. And the stuff that happens is absolutely insane. It is so insane. Gosh, like there's a moment where one of the guys or two of the guys go into this room and they're locked in there. And then all the stuff just flips upside down and is on the roof, and then it comes down and it starts throwing shit at them. And so it knocks one guy out, and the other guy tries to leave, and the door opens and he falls to the ground, and it drags him out into the hallway. And he immediately tries to get up, and he gets up and he runs back to the door, and he just like gets thrown back so far, and it looked like it hurt. And it was just, that was the real like climax. That was like, okay, shit's going down, you know. And it was so good. And so that dude's trapped in there, and the other guy goes and tries to get the others to come help him. And then while this is happening, the two of the girls are outside. Okay, this might be a little bit hard to follow, so I'm sorry if this is hard to follow. I'm just talking about what I remember from it, so I'm sorry if this is hard to follow. But there's two girls that go outside. You know, they're like, this shit's haunted, we're leaving, this is horrible, I don't want to die. So they leave. Both girls are outside, and they're walking around, and they're trying to get out, and they keep going in circles because they have this landmark on this tree, and they keep going in circles somehow. And then out of nowhere, girl one just goes like that, and just kind of stares down and is not responding. And girl two is like, hello, why aren't you talking, you know? And so girl two walks up to girl one, goes around her the front, and looks at her, and it just zooms in on her face, and she's pale, she's got blue veins, her eyes are like gross looking, and then she opens her eyes, and her eyes are pure black, and she just goes and just starts like speaking gibberish. And it literally like zooms in on her face, because there's a face camera that they were using, like a rig, and it zooms in on her face, and you just see and it's so fucking gross. It is that genuinely, like, that got me. That really terrified me. And it was so gross sounding. And like the murmuring and the words she was uttering, just like it had a thing on it, so it had a filter on it, so it sounded really deep and it sounded really gross, and I hated it. And so girl 2 was like, "Oh my gosh," and fucking ran, and girl 1 just kept murmuring, and it kept zooming in on her face, and then going back to the other girl, and then boom, flashbang, and then going away, and then boom, flashbang, and it was so fucking gross. And then girl 2 goes away, and she tries to escape, and then she gets trapped in a room. She like teleports into a room. You know, she like, I think she passes out, and then she wakes up and she's in this room, and the other girl is in the fucking corner of this dark ass room, and it zooms in on her face, and she does it again, and then she just kind of isn't there anymore. And then there's this naked tall man who's got like a split down his chest. Like, it's like his chest is split open like that, you know? And he's just like that, and he just looks so gross. And so she tries to escape, and it's actually the room, like, you can hear her banging, you know, she's banging on the door, she's trying to get out, she's yelling, and the door that the first few characters were trying to open, called room 402, I think, or 204, that's supposed to be the most haunted room, and they were trying to open it up, and so they hear her inside of that room, and they try to open it up, and she just gets dragged away. She just literally gets dragged away into the darkness and is fucking gone, never seen again. And dude, this movie is so insane. I will say, it's got a slow start. It's got a really slow start, and then whenever it's revealed that the stuff is fake, you're like, oh, okay, if this is fake, so then what's actually real? What's actually fake? And is everything just gonna be fake? And then it gets to those points, and then you're like, oh, shit's really going down. And like those last 40 minutes, you know, and there's good build up. You get to know all the characters. You get to know everything that they're doing. And there's good build up. You know why they're there. You know what they're doing. They're trying to get 1 million views on the YouTube thing, so it's really good, you know. And the acting is really good too. Like, one of the guys gets so scared, and he's like, and he's like sweating, like sweat is just coming down, and his eyes are like wide open, and he looks genuinely terrified, like straight up terrified. And that movie is just really fucking good. It's really good. That is my favorite. Sorry, that is my favorite Korean horror movie that I have watched so far, and I've only watched a few, but that is my absolute favorite so far. And honestly, that is one of my favorite horror movies ever, just straight up ever, because it's so genuinely disturbing and scary, and it will get you either with jump scares or with atmosphere or whatever. You know, it's just so good. I just wanted to talk about that. You know, I just wanted to give my recommendations for 2 very good movies. You know, one's a zombie movie, my most favorite zombie movie, and then 2 is one of my most favorite horror movies. You know, Train to Busan, Ganjam Haunted Asylum. Both of them are on Peacock, I think, if you have Peacock. So check that out if you want. Otherwise, just look it up and see if it's on something. I don't know what it's on now. I think it's been moved around. I think Train to Busan has been moved around. So just look for it, you know. And they're both really good. You know, they are both, I'm telling you, they are really good. You will enjoy them if you haven't watched them already. But that's all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to talk about my movies. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little talk, and if you want more talks like this, then please let me know. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!